Good morning, my dear students, and welcome back to the class on direct and indirect speech. In the previous classes, we had dealt with the assertive sentences and the imperative sentences. In today's class, we are going to deal with the exclamatory sentences. So, as we do with all the classes, we'll begin with the definition of exclamatory sentences. How do you define the term called, or how do you define the exclamatory sentence? So, the definition of exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences indicate different things. And what are those things? Exclamatory sentences indicate excitement, surprise, astonishment, or strong emotions. So, when you have some sentences that indicate excitement, surprise, astonishment, or strong emotions, these sentences will come under the category called exclamatory sentences. I have given some examples here. How cute she is. What a beautiful house. The birthday cake was so good. So these are the examples for exclamatory sentences. So understand, exclamatory sentences indicate excitement, surprise, astonishment, or strong emotions. Now we will see the different rules to be kept in mind when you are converting an assertive and exclamatory sentence from direct into indirect speech. So there are some rules that you need to keep in mind when you are converting an exclamatory sentence from direct into indirect speech. And what's the first rule? Rule number 1 is related to reporting verbs. The reporting verbs said and told will be changed into exclaimed, cried out, wished, prayed, or confessed, depending on the situation or depending on the circumstances of the particular sentence. We can choose any of these as the reporting verbs: exclaimed, cried out, wished, prayed, or confessed. So that's the rule number 1. The change of reporting verbs said and told will be converted to any of these as the reporting verbs. Now moving on to rule number 2, the exclamatory mark will be changed into full stop. Rule number 3, the exclamatory structure will be converted to statement structure. The structure of the exclamatory sentence or the exclamatory structure will be changed into statement structure. Rule number 4, change of tense when the reporting verb is in past tense. We have already learned the present tense, past tense, and the future tense. So the change of tense when the reporting verb is in past tense. This is rule number 5, conjunction that is used. Rule number 6, interjections, exclamations, oh, well, alas, hooray, bravo will be changed into phrases like cried out with sorrow, shouted with joy, depending on the meaning of the sentence. So the interjections, exclamations like oh, well, alas, hooray, bravo will be changed into phrases, and those words will be converted to phrases like cried out with sorrow or shouted with joy. That depends on the meaning of a particular sentence. I'll give an example. I will give you the box so that you can understand it better. On my left I have given the words, on my right I have given the expression of these words. Hooray means joy, bravo means grief, alas means approval, what means surprise. So these are the meaning of these words, or these are the meanings that are expressed by these words: hooray, bravo, alas, and what. So understand it clearly. That is rule number 7. Now moving on to the next one. So these are the 7 rules that you need to keep in mind when you are converting an exclamatory sentence from direct into indirect speech. Now let's go through some examples. Direct speech: she said, alas, he is dead. Indirect speech: she cried out with sorrow, that he was dead. Now let's see the 4 changes that have taken place. First one, change of reporting verb. Said is changed into cried out. Clear? Second, the use of the conjunction called that. Change of tense, he is dead, changed into he was dead. Use of phrases. Remember, cried out with sorrow. That is the phrase that is used in the sentence. So the change of reporting verb and the use of phrase will go almost together. So cried out is the reporting verb and the phrase is with sorrow. It comes together, cried out with sorrow. That becomes the phrase. So then the reporting verb is already changed. Conjunction called that is used and the change of tense. Give one more example so that you can understand this change in a better manner. Direct speech. Hurrah, we have won the match, shouted the cricket team. In direct speech, the cricket team shouted with joy that they had won the match. Again, the change of reporting verb. Shouted remains the same. Shouted with joy. That is the phrase that is used. Conjunction called that is used. Change of tense, we have won is changed into they had won the match. I think now you have understood the way to change an exclamatory sentence from direct into indirect speech. Let's take one more example. Direct speech. She said, alas, I failed in the exam. Indirect speech. She exclaimed sadly that she had failed in the exam. So change of reporting verb, use of phrase, conjunction called that is used, and the change of tense. I failed in the exam, she had failed in the exam. Let's go through one more example. Direct speech. He said, bravo, you have done well. Direct speech. He shouted with joy that he had done well. Again, the change of reporting verb, use of phrase, conjunction called that is used, and the change of tense. I hope you have understood the different rules related to the exclamatory sentences. Kindly go through these notes once again and try to make your own sentences and convert from direct into indirect speech. Keep in mind the different rules. I think there are 7 rules that you need to keep in mind. Remember the change of the reporting verb, the use of phrase that depends on the meaning of the particular sentence, change of tense, the conjunction called that is all that is used. I hope you are clear with it. So I request all of you to take your studies seriously and concentrate on your studies. Thank you.